Okay, welcome Toastmaster Imran Rana. He's our immediate past president. So, Toastmaster Imran, we will appreciate if you could reprise your role that you once played as Sergeant at Arms and start the proceedings.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Talha. I'm sure I'm audible. So, before starting, I would like to ask you, where are you at the moment?
It's classified. Let's say I'm at home.
Actually, your background, virtual background, it seems like some sort of you are strolling in space.
Yes.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening and welcome to the combined meeting of Mount Meru Toastmasters and Karachi Toastmasters Club. Before starting, we have some ground rules. And few ground rules are that you are allowed to remain your mic muted, and you will be requested to unmute your mic when you are asked to do so. And with that, I would like to hand over the charge the presidents of both the club. So over to you.
Toastmaster Imran.
Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Haman Kajiru, the president of Mount Meru Toastmasters Club, and I am very delighted to welcome all of you in this wonderful meeting. It's an executive meeting because of some reasons. 2 continents are involved in this meeting and 2 beautiful countries, the country of Pakistan, where Karachi Toastmasters Club belongs to, and Mount Meru Toastmasters Club from Tanzania. It is also an executive meeting because we have seasoned Toastmasters all across the 2 continents and beyond. It is also an executive meeting of its kind because today we are traveling through space and time. Having 2 of our Toastmasters of the meeting, DTM Talha and Toastmaster Faith Juma. DTM Talha is a seasoned Toastmaster because he joined the Toastmasters in the year 2016. So 4 years countdown. Since he joined the Toastmasters, the journey has been absolutely rewarding. And he confirms that his tremendous growth to leadership has been always day in, day out. He has served in several leadership positions in the club, started with the Vice President Public Relations, Vice President Membership, Vice President Education, and a President. That is not enough because it will be a historical mistake if I miss to say he has also been Club Growth Director, Club Program Quality Director at the district level. And the journey of Toastmasters has brought so many quotes, and this is his favorite quote. If everything seems under control, you are not going fast enough. And this was taken from race driver Mario Andret's wisdom. that is DTM Talha. To commemorate this meeting is Toastmaster Faith Juma. Toastmaster Faith Juma joined the Toastmasters this year. And this has been her long-time dream, her long-time plan to join Toastmasters in order to sharpen her communication and leadership skills. The journey has been so much of learning and unlearning, since the road had a lot of corners and bumps. But through persistence and faith to God, that is her name, it has been an opening to many more opportunities. And hence today we have this joint meeting. But before welcoming them, allow me to welcome our SAA to take us through the meeting etiquette. Is our SAA ready?
He has done that, Mr. President.
Again? Okay. Now, before an ink gets dry on the page, please help me to welcome our wonderful and executive Toastmasters of the meeting. Welcome, DTM Talha. Welcome, Toastmaster Faith Juma. Over to you.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Mr. President. So, in a single heartbeat, space and time were born. From the hot aftermath of creation, a new solar system compressed about 4.5 billion years ago on the outskirts of the Milky Way. 9 planets were formed around a star, and while most were uniform masses of rock or gas, one planet was unlike any other. A miracle in terms of its composition, the likes of which do not exist in the known universe. Millions of years ago, a pair of eyes, or four, opened on that planet, looked at the stars, and felt the expanse of space and time. Man appeared on Earth. The race rose and rose, exploring its surroundings and conquering its home planet. The land masses on the planet organized into continents, but then there was a flood and it killed all forms of life on the planet, save a few. The remaining lives restarted the saga on a beautiful continent of endless plains and deserts, of spectacular sunsets and rustling grass called Africa. And from there, it moved to other continents. And today, as our planet, sun, and galaxy hurtle through space, and our souls travel through time, one thing remains. We all came from that one land, and we are constantly moving. We are all immigrants, we are all refugees, and we are all Africans. The floor is yours, Toastmaster Faith Juma.
Thank you, DTM Talha. As it said, our theme today is space and time. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, just try and think of an interrelation between a night and the day. They can't occur at the same time and occupy the same space in the sky, right? But whenever they appear at their times, they use the space and the time they're given fully with no regrets. Such is true. If you think of it, no one really belongs anywhere and everywhere at the same time. This means our life is constantly moving, so does the earth we live in. We might not have the power over time and the space, but I'm sure we can decide to make the life meaningful out of them, because such is life. C'est la vie. From this combined meeting, we will get to appreciate the importance of space and time we get, and the time we get each time in our lives to make the right choices. Just as we decided to match our times and spaces through Zoom to meet each other. Welcome, everyone. Our meeting will be divided into 3 parts. The first part will be where the members will deliver their prepared speeches to reach their communication goals. And these speeches will be evaluated by a team of experts, Toastmasters. And in the second part, we will both have members and guests to practice on how to think and speak on their feet. So this is known as the table topic session. And during the third session of our meeting, we'll be having evaluation reports, which will be given for the prepared speeches, and our role takers, all of them will have to submit their reports. So it's about to get exciting. In this journey of space through time today, we are not alone. We have a team of travelers to help us make this journey fascinating. I'd like to introduce our fellow travelers who agreed to unveil how their journey on the road of life has been so far in just less than 20 words. Imagine that. The first traveler that we have in line is Navid, our grammarian. Navid is our grammarian this evening. And when he was asked to share how his journey was in the road of life so far, in less than 20 words, this is how he said. In his journey on the road of life, he said, life is moving at lightning speed. It's been like navigating through asteroids while watching moon, stars, and galaxies on the way. Wow. Navid, kindly introduce your role.
Thank you very much. And thank you for actually mentioning the response to the question that I sent. I'll be using the role of grammarian for today, and the word for today is asteroid. The meaning is asteroid actually is a rock or small piece of rock within the atmosphere. We will be the meaning of asteroid that will be used in our conversation today is it can be used as a hurdle or a speed breaker while flying in the outer space. So use as much this word as you can during your speech, and I'll be counting that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Navid. Our second traveler who is with us in this journey of space through time is our counter, Toastmaster Taha Hassan. This is how Toastmaster Taha Hassan responded to the question asked. The galaxy is a mystery, and we are part of it. So it makes us humans mysterious too. Toastmaster Taha, kindly introduce your role.
Toastmaster Taha isn't in the meeting.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Taha, you will proceed with the next.
Let me check. I believe he did join the meeting.
Then I guess I'll proceed with the next role taker while he's joining. Our next, as we wait for Toastmaster Taha, we have our very own timer, witness Raymond. When she was asked the same question This is how she replied. Life is an adventure with ups and downs. So far, so good, I can't complain. I'm rather grateful. Toastmaster Witness, welcome and introduce your role.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the evening. My name is Witness, and as my role as a timer is to remind all speakers how much time they've spent on their speech so that we run this meeting on time. I will raise the green card when the speech is long enough, whereas 1 minute to 30 seconds for table topics, and when it's 5 minutes for the prepared speeches, that will be the green card. Then I will share the yellow card when it is 2 minutes for the yes. It will be green minutes for the yellow card for 1 and 5 seconds for the table topics, and minutes for the 6 minutes for the prepared speeches. Red card for the prepared speeches when it's 7 minutes, and 3 minutes or 2 minutes for the table topics. And at the end of the meeting, I'll be back to give my report. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Faith.
Thank you, Toastmaster Witness. Is Toastmaster Taha back?
He's about
Or
to
is
join. He's about to join. He's about to join.
So can I wait for him or introduce the general evaluators?
Yes, I believe you go ahead with that introduction, and meanwhile, Toastmaster Taha should be with us.
Oh, thank you. So we also have 2 general evaluators. As it was said, it is a special meeting indeed. Our meeting will be evaluated by 2 general evaluators. The first one will be Toastmaster Harman Kajiru. When Toastmaster Harman Kajiru was asked the same question, this is how he responded. My journey on the road of life has been like a car tire, moving depending on the energy I put. Sometimes flat, but mostly full of enjoyment. Then our second general evaluator is Toastmaster Saad Shoaib. When she was asked the same question, this is how she replied. I realized the importance of Elon Musk's venture, as it is a whole new world which deserves exploration. I would really like to know what Elon Musk's venture is. Welcome our general evaluators to explain your role.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the meeting. As a general evaluator, just in a brief note, is to evaluate everything that it takes place during the meeting and that does not take place during the meeting. In Toastmasters, we believe feedback is the breakfast for champions. But for me, it is not only a breakfast, but also a lunch, dinner, and sometimes snacks for the midnight. So at the end of the meeting, when called upon, I will give my comprehensive report. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. In the same alternating order, I would like to welcome my fellow TMOD, Toastmaster Talha, to proceed with the first part of our meeting, which is an exciting moment. Welcome, Toastmaster Talha. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Faith. But you should know that there are no floors here. All around me is space. So you could have said space is yours, but I'll let that slide. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, we have literally a galaxy of stars as our speakers today. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Javed Bhatti. He's the current champion of multiple contests at Karachi Toastmasters, as well as third place winner in International Video Speech Contest for 2020. Asked about his travels through space and time, he says, in an empty box, there are walls and there's space. Question is, do you consider that space useful? I think it's equally important as the walls of the box because if there was no space, then you couldn't fill the box with valuable stuff. Normally, we don't value space, whereas if there's no space, there's no progress. Appreciate space. Toastmaster Javed Bhatti will be delivering his first project, Icebreaker, from Pathway Level 1. The title is African Connection. I'll invite his evaluator, who is, I believe, uh, just a second. Is it DTM Olpesh, right? Yes. So yeah. So DTM Olpesh, Tobias, please introduce the project. Over to you.
Our first speaker today at this historic meeting is none other than Javed Bhatti, who is going to attempt his first or an icebreaker speech in the engaging human path. His speech will have two objectives: to introduce himself to the club, and the second one is to learn basic structure of a public speech. Javed has 4 to 6 minutes. African connections, Javed Bhatti, African connections. Am I audible and visible? We can hear, we can see. We can hear and see you. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, evaluator and Toastmaster. My family is sitting at the dining table, and I was playing in another room. I was a kid at that time. And that's when I hear the voice, Wakati Wakula, Karibuni Chakula. After listening to these words, I rushed towards the dining room and I asked my father, Father, what did grandma just said? My father explained, son, your grandma said, it's time for dinner. Let's eat something. But father, what was that language? I really like it. My father said, son, that's Swahili. And this is our first native language. And if you want, you can also learn it. Yes, father, why not? I really like the groove of it. Vakula, chakula, chakula, vakula. I want to learn that. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, Vagenis and Mehmanan, as we call it in Urdu and Swahili. My father was born in India. And when he was a kid, my grandparents, they decided to migrate to mighty Africa. My grandfather was a master sailor and a trader. He had 2 cargo boats, and so were my other granduncles. They decided to settle in different parts of Africa, in Mombasa, in Darussalam, and some even went deeper and settled into the coastal towns of Africa like Malindi and Lamu. Throughout my childhood, I was always told and reminded about my African connection. My father just loved talking about his childhood days that he spent in Kenya. Someday he would tell me how he and his friend went into the jungle safari and watched the wildebeest migrations and lions hunting them. Someday he would tell me how he as a friend used to play football on those white sandy beaches, how he used to walk 5 kilometers to reach his school every day. I was fascinated by those stories. My father just loved talking about them. And I could feel, I could sense that although he is a grown up man now, he has left Africa a long time ago. But Africa never left him. He just could not get Africa out of him. He was just so mesmerized. I often asked him, Father, if you liked Africa so much, why did you come to Pakistan then? And he would just smile and say, because I was destined to meet your mother here in Pakistan. And I was destined to become your father here in Pakistan. So destiny landed me here. So after listening to those adventure tales of Africa, somehow I developed this deep desire within me to visit and explore the land of my forefathers. So one day in 2016, finally, I landed in Africa. And as I was about to come out of the airport, it was a Nairobi airport. And as per our customs and traditions, we cannot go to someone's place or house empty-handed. So I bought so many gifts, jeans, t-shirts, jackets, you name it, for my tribe that was living in different parts of Africa. And when I was pushing the trolley out of that airport, I was pushing a Mount Kilimanjaro because my trolley was full. Have you seen those trolleys at the airport, which are man's high? I had this gut feeling that the custom security would stop me. And as I was coming out, a guy called me, come here, sir, what is all this? I said, this is my luggage. He said, no, not like this. You will have to pay the duty. This is all illegal. And I said, no, sir, this is my luggage and this is not overweight. He took me into the room and locked the room. And now this was my first impression of Africa. And he asked me for my passport. And he was a macho guy like Booker T. I gave him the passport and I slipped $50 note in it. And when he opened the passport, he found the dollar bill in it. And he said, sir, you can go. You can go, just don't look back. Fellow Toastmasters and guests. In Tanzania and Pakistan, we have so much in common. You call your Tanzania the roof of Africa, whereas we in Pakistan have a place called Yosai, and we call it the roof of the world. In Tanzania, you have the highest mountain of Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro, whereas in Pakistan, we have multiple mountains that are tallest in the world. And we also have one more thing in common, corruption. In Tanzania, you have this much corruption, and in Pakistan, we have this much corruption. But, fellow Toastmasters from Tanzania, I visited Tanzania for a very short while, and I felt like home. Now that I have one more reason to visit my Kaka and Dada Toastmasters from Tanzania, I will surely come and see you guys. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Javed Bhatti. And we have just decided that we'll ask all of you to unmute yourself and give every speaker a real round of applause. So everyone, please unmute. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. And it felt really great. Our second speaker is DTM Oltesh Sabayas, who I am honored to call a good friend and, more importantly, an amazing human being. He is a third place winner too at Video Speech Contest. And of course, a distinguished Toastmaster. His take on our journey through space and time is, and listen closely, it has been up and down, sweet and sour, fire and ice, salt and pepper, hot summers and ice cold winters. I cherish the experience and who I have become. Today, he graces us with his Project 3 from Level 1. I am slim, sleek, and strong, and I agree wholeheartedly. Mr. Evaluator Toastmaster Imran Rana, please introduce the project. Over to you.
Toastmaster Talha, there's a little confusion.
What happened?
He's delivering first project from evaluation and feedback, right? Or research and presenting.
It's Level 1, Project 3. Yeah.
Research and presenting.
Just a correction. I'm delivering second project. So basically, it's the project where I'm supposed to deliver a speech, get feedback, and use that feedback to deliver the third speech.
Okay. I got it. Thank you very much. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today DTM Altish Tobias, an accredited speaker, is going to deliver his first speech from evaluation and feedback project. The object of this project is for the member to deliver a well-structured speech, receive feedback, and deliver the same speech or new speech after incorporating the feedback received. Timer, please note the speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Altis Tobias, I'm slim, sleek, and strong. I'm slim, sleek, and strong. Toastmaster Altis Tobias, the virtual space is yours.
I'm slim, I'm sleek, and I'm strong like Simba strolling in the Serengeti. I'm slim, I'm sleek, and I'm strong like Simba strolling in the Serengeti. Simba means the lion in Kiswahili, and Serengeti is one of the most popular national parks, not only in Tanzania, but in the world. The statement that I've just shared with you is an affirmation that I used to repeat every morning when I wake up. I came up with these affirmations after struggling with a weight that I did not really like. And for a long time, I found ways of lowering my weight to a desired weight that I've always dreamt of. And after attending a Mind Power seminar, Robin Barnes, who was delivering that seminar, encouraged me to come up with affirmations that would allow me to realize what I really want to achieve in life. So this is when I came up with this statement. I'm slim, I'm sleek and strong like Simba strolling in the Serengeti. After saying these affirmations, I would go to the weighing scale and check my weight, 67. Then I would go and work out and eat right and do everything that will get me to the desired weight. And I would go back to the weighing scale after a few weeks. And when I checked, 70. And after a few months, I continued exercising. And every time I went to the weighing scale, my weight was going up and not down. I gave up. I packed my bags and I disappeared into the woods of my old mindset. I concluded that affirmation is a hogwash. It doesn't work. Fast forward, about 2 weeks ago, I weighed myself and I realized that I was 64 kilos, all the way from 72. to 64. You might be wondering, what happened? How did that happen? And you tried everything, you tried affirmations, and nothing worked. This is what happened. At the end of October, I attended a seminar from Anthony Robbins, one of the best and a renowned world motivational speaker from the US. It was a 3-day course seminar starting from 10 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. in the evening. And on the third day of that seminar, Tony said, if you want to realize what you want in life, you need to have energy. You need to make sure that you drink the right amount of water, at least 2 liters per day. You need to make sure that you eat the right portion. And he said, this is the size of your stomach. It's like the size of your feet. And he said, this is the amount of a meal you're supposed to eat. And that took me back because that was not possible for me. Normally, if I serve my rice or my chapati or any meal, the meal would be quite huge. You'd hardly see me from the other side. And he said, this is the amount of food that you need. And out of that, he said, 25% of that portion should be either protein or starch, and 75% should be vegetable. Tony did not end there. He said, you also need to avoid eating beef. And I said, beef? I eat beef for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He did not end there. He said you also need to cut your caffeine consumption. And I survive on coffee. He also said you need to make sure that you reduce all the animal products like milk. I said, this is not possible. But at the end of the 4 days, he gave us a challenge. And I always like challenges. He said, for 10 days, you wake up in the morning, you do your affirmation, and he reminded me of the affirmations. You do your exercise for at least half an hour. You drink the right amount of water and food just for 10 days. And at the end of the 10 days, I saw some amazing results. And these results made me happy. When I stepped on the weighing scale, I was 64 kilograms. And I started celebrating. My wife was equally happy. And you might be wondering, why was your wife happy? She was happy because her budget for food went down for 75%. So what changed from the struggles that I had in the past to being able to cut 8 kilos in a span of less than a month? It is because I engaged my affirmations with measurable, with achievable, and with actionable results. And I also concluded that affirmations without massive action, affirmations without the right action, and affirmations without consistent action is like a gun without bullet. It does not work. And as I engage with you today, I know that we're all preparing and looking forward to welcoming 2021. And this is a message that I want to leave with you. If you want to achieve massive results, you need to affirm, you need to visualize, you need to see, you need to test, and then you need to feel whatever it is that you want to achieve. However, you need to have plans that have been well laid out. You need to have the right action, and you need to do it consistently, day in, day out. I would therefore like to invite you to join me in this movement off. I'm slim. I'm sleek. I'm strong, like Simba strolling in the Serengeti. Back to you, Mr. and Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, DTM Tobias. I share so many of your struggles. I only wish I also shared your physique. Thank you for that wonderful, wonderful speech. Our next speaker belongs to the interior province called Sindh of our country. He lives in Karachi. He has mastered as a writer and a poet a language that originated in Turkey. And he contested our district's championship of public speaking in a language that originated in Europe. And today, he's speaking at a combined meeting between Karachi and Mount Meru Toastmasters Club. So, one from Pakistan and one from Tanzania. He is our district's champion of public speaking, a writer, a poet, and a beautiful soul. Toastmaster Muhammad Farooq says about his journey through space and time. My journey is full of bumpy rides, to difficult clambering, to atrocious turning, to slanting descents, to smooth roads. Walking alone, to following a group, and finally to leading a team. He will be delivering his project, which is his first project from level 2, and I will invite his evaluator, who is, uh, sorry, just a second. Yeah, so his evaluator is Toastmaster Herman. Please introduce your project.
Thank you very much, DTM Talha. I am really content and excited to evaluate the speech by Toastmaster Muhammad Farooq. Toastmaster Muhammad Farooq is a project 1, understanding your leadership style, from level 2 of the pathway visionary communication. The purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style or styles, but also the member to share some aspects of his or her primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. So as today, we are traveling through space and time, get ready to hear a lot from Toastmaster Muhammad Farooq. Toastmaster Muhammad Farooq's speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And the title of the speech is I saw a shepherd Toastmaster Muhammad Farooq. Muhammad Farooq, I saw a shepherd. Over to you.
I would like to confirm if I'm visible and audible to you.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. The sun was sinking lower in the sky, casting a long shadow on the grounds, and I was watching a shepherd. With a flock of sheep, he was returning to home. He was behind the herd, watching forward and guiding the herd from behind. The long shadow on the ground was dissolving into a silky darkness of night. The sky was illuminated with the stars, moon, and the universe was covered by tranquility and peace The whole world was sleeping, but I was still thinking if he is a leader. Toastmaster of the evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. This was the time I was thinking about a leadership style, leading from the behind. It is opposite to our conventional thinking, in which we want to see our leader in front of us, ahead of us. Today, we will see how does a leading from behind looks like. A shepherd is responsible for each of his sheep, every single one. He uses his experience, his knowledge, his know-how, and his devotion to guide them successfully. Shepherd leadership is all about a servant leadership in action. Provision, protection, and be present with your people. There are 4 principles of shepherd leadership: vision, ability, relationship, and care. Care for your people, risk your life to protect them, and be sure they see you often. It involves guidance and development through training and coaching. It involves commitment, competence, compassion, provision, protection, discernment, and growing in the ability to lead well. Let me change this topic a little. Any one of you has ever heard the name of Serena and Venus? Yes, of course. You all have known them. Who was their father? Mr. Richard Williams is a classical example of shepherd leadership. Vision, ability, care, and relationship. He envisioned about his daughter to be a tennis champion long before she was born, and he himself took the tennis lesson to learn the game. He sacrificed his today for their tomorrow. He fought with mafia to get them training, and he homeschooled them so that she can get an appropriate time for the training. It was started training when she was only 4. With this tough discipline, what she achieved, we all know that both ladies were #1 seed in women tennis. Shepherd leadership is an ancient style of leadership. We can take some qualities from modern day leadership and combine with shepherd leadership to create a more stronger and more efficient style of leadership, which is time management, team building, delegation, and empowering your people. If one can combine these qualities of modern day leadership and combine the principles of shepherd leadership and create a stronger leadership that can make miracles and make this person a perfect leader. Let's combine all together and create a leadership style, which is called leading from behind. I'm not the one who is proposing this. I have taken this, I have borrowed it from one of the greatest leader of our time, Nelson Mandela. Mr. Nelson Mandela, in his autobiography, equated a great leader with a shepherd. In his own words, and I quote, "He stays behind the flock, letting the most nimble one to go out ahead, whereby the others follow, all along not realizing that they are being guided from behind." Unquote. Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Woo!
Everyone unmute and clap. I forgot to have it done last time. But please. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Paru. It is time to move on to our next project and our last prepared speaker of the day. Our last speaker is none other than Toastmaster Ebenezer Seyor, who is delivering Level 1 Project 4, Researching and Presenting. This was the wisdom shared with all of us about journey through space and time. Whether the past was too good or too bad, that history is done. Whether the future is too promising or scary, keep faith. I try to live and enjoy today as that is the only guaranteed day. So, with those beautiful sentiments, let me introduce his evaluator, Toastmaster Heba Rais Khan. Over to you, Toastmaster Heba.
Is my voice audible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so Toastmaster Ibizner will be delivering his presentation mastery pathway level 1 project for researching and presenting, and the title of his speech is human trafficking happening all around us, spread awareness. And the purpose statement, the objective for this speech is the purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Over to Toastmaster Ibizner. The floor is yours.
Whether you are at home or you are at workplace or taking a walk, human traffickers and victims are just around the corner. They live among us. They are either our friends, co-workers, schoolmates, or even family members. Toastmasters and guests, human trafficking is a global issue, and it affects people in every part of the world. Although there is no one agreed definition on human trafficking, but some literatures define it as a process that involves deception, recruitment, transportation, and transfer of people from their region or place of origin to other destinations for exploitation purpose. According to the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, in its report in 2019, it has reported that human trafficking is the second fastest growing illegal economy. Illegal business after drug trafficking. According to the report, about 40.3 million people in the world live in conditions of human trafficking. And the traffickers amass a total of 150 billion US dollars every year. Ladies and gentlemen, human trafficking affects mostly girls and women aged between 15 to 40 years old. And this number is alarming. If no action taken to address it, the consequences are massive, especially when we give the role of women within the family and the society at large. Throughout history, women have been central in ensuring stability, sustainability, quality life, as well as values in the society and the community around. According to a study published by Nuta Journal in Nepal in 2000, volume 5 of 2000, it has indicated that trafficking of women has detrimental social and economic impact. Among them is illiteracy. In Nepal, 66% of trafficked women are uneducated, and only 10% of them attain primary school education. But it also results into unemployment and poverty. In Nepal, for example, about girls who are trafficked to India for prostitution, about 93% of them are unemployed. And traffickers are very good to spot the void and try to fill it. Where most of them this is the group that they are soft targets. They target unemployed and poor community around them. And at the same time, they try to exploit this group by pretending to offer them job overseas, which they are not there. But also, due to trafficking of women, broken families is eminent. Most of trafficked girls for prostitution in Nepal come from these unstable families. And again, about 80% of them end unmarried. Some, about 3% of them, also get divorced or separated. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an adage that says that whatever you give a woman, she multiplies it. And with this trend of trafficking of women, illiteracy, unemployment, poverty, and failed families is also likely to multiply in the society. But the question is, how do one identify traffickers? Anyone with idea? The most common area is their modes of recruitment. And social media has become their hot hunting grounds to snap those who are desperate or looking to work for better overseas. Most of them use Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, or even WhatsApp. And this is the meeting ground between a trafficker and the victim. They just established a relationship that seems to be too close in a short time with someone you just met over the internet. Another crucial area that they use is also promising attractive job offers. Traffickers are to work through friends' network, who acted their agents to spot those girls, especially those who are desperate to travel or live overseas. Most of them offer them jobs in places like hotels, supermarkets, restaurants, nightclubs, or even hair salon. And they promise good paying packages, which are not there. At the end of the day, most of them end in prostitution. And these jobs normally do not need any qualification or even contracts or work permits. Lastly, but not least, they also offer to pay for your documentation process or travel costs. Friends, be aware with your friends around you who connect you to their network or other friends who live overseas. Most of them befriend you in a very short time, and they start to encourage you to visit them or find your weaknesses and offer you a job that is better than what you are doing. And at the end of the day, they snap you into prostitution. Most of them pay cheap tickets as well as process your document at an amount of 500 to 1,000 US dollars. But the victims later pay massively, between 5,000 to 8,000 US dollars, which they struggle to pay. And I have worked in this area closely. I'm sharing the experience. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout this study, one thing is very clear, that human trafficking syndicates cannot operate without the support of law enforcement agencies. Unscrupulous police officers and immigration officers are part of the syndicate to sneak trafficked girls into this business. But no action is too small. By calling to action, never underestimate the difference that you may make. Bring awareness to your social networks, your social circles, friends, and family members to know the signs and dangers of human trafficking. Befriend someone who you see is vulnerable, especially from unemployed groups, those who are desperate, or even those who are facing challenges, broken families, and so on. Encourage them and report anyone who you suspect their movement is linked to human trafficking. Over to you, Toastmasters of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ebenezer, and I thoroughly respect the fact that you chose to enlighten us about an issue that is very serious and very few of us realize how serious it is. Thank you so much for that. With that, we come to the conclusion of our prepared speeches session. Our vote counter will be floating the poll for best speaker. But before that, I would confirm from our timer, Toastmaster witness, has everyone qualified in terms of timing? Toastmaster witness, has everyone qualified?
She says yes.
Okay, okay. So everyone is qualified for voting. Before the poll is closed, let me just briefly recap. Toastmaster Javed Bhatti was the first speaker. He spoke about his African roots in his icebreaker. Distinguished Toastmaster Oltesh Thabayas detailed his struggles with fitness and told the world finally that yes, indeed, he is slim, sleek, and strong. Toastmaster Mohammad Farooq expounded upon the concept of shepherd leadership, which means that you have to be a servant in order to be a leader. And finally, Toastmaster Ebenezer Sayor educated us about the problem of human trafficking, how to identify it, and what we can do to stop it. So I request our impromptu poll master, Toastmaster Saad, please float the poll and we'll take 30 seconds to vote for our favorite speaker.
Absolutely. Okay, everyone, please vote.
I hope everyone can see the poll.
Ten more votes to go.
Okay, so
yeah, I'm just I'm about to end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for voting, everyone. Mike Tala.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our timer. Thank you so much, our amazing speakers. Thank you, audience, for your listening and your voting. Now we move on to the second segment, which is potentially the most exciting segment of the meeting, none other than Table Topics. So it is my honor to introduce Table Topics Master, and please feel free to correct me if I pronounce your name wrong. It's Hawa Kipilili. Am I right, Table Topics Master?
Yes, you're right.
Thank God. Thank you. As per her, with no doubt, life is like a road trip, and for me, this has been a great relevant example comparing my life with a road trip when I drive my car. We get lost on the way, we drive on a really good smooth tarmac road, and sometime on a bumpy, rough road, even getting a flat tire. So, this is the same as in life. When I get lost, I always get someone to hold my hand and show me the way. It takes space and time to reach where I want to be. So, with those beautiful sentiments, I hand over the floor now to our table topics master. Over to you, madam.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to an exciting session of our meeting today. As I'm going to conduct the table topics today, I am going to ask you questions whereby you need to think on your feet. We encourage you to think on your feet. And the table topic's purpose is to let the members and also guests, if we have today, just to practice their impromptu speaking skills. You are required to use 1 to 2 minutes to answer questions. And my questions today will focus on or will be based on the theme of today, which is space and time. So I hope we are all ready to speak. Yes. I will conduct these table topics with the people who haven't got an opportunity to speak today. This is to allow everyone to feel engaged in our meeting. And I will start with our beautiful guest, Melanie. Melanie, are you here? Is Melanie here, if I spelled your name correct? Okay, okay, very good. Melanie, can you please tell us if there were any moments in your life which you needed your own space? Can you share with us those moments?
Any moment in my life where I needed my own space. Growing up in a family with 4 children, I think you find that you have very limited space because there's only 2 bathrooms and lots of children and parents that need to share the bathrooms. And there's also shared bedrooms and shared toys and shared everything. So growing up, I would have probably liked to have a lot more space. But having the opportunity to share things with others taught me a lot about life and about changes that you need to do to be able to share things in your life. Later in my life, now that I'm working, there are times where you're at work and you're in a shared space because you're in an open plan area and there's so much noise. People are talking to each other, they're having meetings at their desk, and you're trying to concentrate and find the answers to the world's problems, but you can't think because there's no space. So the only advice I can give when you need space is to find, yes, a headset and some music that will block out the world. And there you can have a little bit of your own space and a bit of peace. Peace away from everyone else, where you can concentrate on solving the problems of the world, or maybe just being a child and enjoying space away from the family and doing your own personal things. So that's my advice. If you need space, try and find a way of blocking out the world. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Wonderful. I have just gotten some techniques where I can use my space. Thank you very much. Can you tell us about any time in your life when you didn't know that you're going to make it, if you'd make it?
Okay. If I may ask, make it in what sense? Like make it professionally or academically? Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I've always been a struggler, whether in academics or in professional life. There was one particular moment I remember. I was working in a certain company before doing my master's, and I was involved in some sort of office politics. And all around me, people were like constantly cutting me, not telling me information and all. You know how it goes in offices. So they were constantly, I was being humiliated, mocked in front of the people. So it was like, and people were not telling me things and stuff. So I remember it was like a very bad time for me. And it was like, I was, in fact, I was not being included in any of the staff office information, events and all.
So I remember I would just constantly try to motivate myself, tell myself that I'll make it. And by the end of the term, contractual term, I did make it, and they did try to, extend my contract and all, employment contract, but I refused and I left the place. So that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, Toastmaster Hiba Khan. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, allow me to move to the next question. And I wonder if this guest goes by the name of Gondwe, Tawongo Gondwe Nkosi. Is he here?
Hello.
He's not here.
I'm here.
Ah, great. Yes. Are you ready for the question?
Yes, sure. My name is Tawonga.
Tawonga. Yes. Okay, sorry for that. That's fine. We all believe that we will one day, where we will go, that's a matter of someone's belief. Now, can you tell us how you would want your loved ones to remember you when you're gone? We all believe that we will one day leave this earth. We don't know where we will go, and that doesn't matter. Now, can you tell us how you would want your beloved ones to remember you when you're gone?
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master, Kipilili. I'm honored to be part of this table topic discussion. That's a very interesting question, but it's something that I have taken time to think about. Quite recently, I lost a cousin, a very close cousin who I regarded as a sister, and she passed on in her sleep. That was kind of a wake-up call for me, because I was like, wow, if something like this had happened, how would it be? How would I, not how would I, because I would have passed, but if that happened to me, what would my family members remember about me? Because I remember thinking, even before she had passed, I kept on admiring her life, how she had worked as a nurse for several years, and she decided she wanted to retire and run her own business. She was young. She was not someone that you could say is an old person or had reached a retirement age, but she decided that she felt she had given enough and she would like to start her own business. So she did start a chemist, and she was going on and had a lot of projects, was able to accomplish a lot. And I feel like when she passed, she had really fulfilled her purpose, and I was thinking about that. So coming to myself, I would like to be remembered as someone who came to Earth, had a purpose, and went back empty, was able to fulfill my purpose, the purpose that I was brought to Earth for. So in a nutshell, love to be remembered. Thank you.
Sorry for your loss, Toastmaster Tawonga.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for sharing that. Do we have Rosette in the room? Rosette has just disappeared, I guess. This has been difficult, people disappearing.
Sorry.
Thank you, you're back.
Yeah, but I didn't hear what you asked.
Oh, I haven't asked anything. I was just wondering if you're still in the room. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Right. What would you want to share with your future generations, your experience and feelings about your country?
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm supposed to think off my feet. My country is Uganda. I haven't lived in Uganda for more than 3 months for the last 12 years. So I guess I'll just wing it and see what I can say. What I would like to say to them is that I grew up in Uganda, a country in East Africa, gifted by nature, like it's described. It is the pearl of Africa. It has a lot to offer. For the last more than 30 years, we have struggled with having some democracy in the country, but nevertheless, it is a country that I am proud to call home. That's it.
Thank you so much. I think you've just forgotten to tell them about matoke.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. And how I live in Johannesburg now, and we go all over the place looking for matoke. So you're very right about that. Yes, thank you, my dear.
That's wonderful experience. The Toastmaster of the day, do we still have time? Can I ask one more question?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
And this question goes to Shahil. I don't know if he is around. Shahil, are you in the room? Shahil? So I think if Shahil is not in the room, we can just proceed with the meeting.
I think Toastmaster Faisalur Rahman volunteered for table topics, so maybe you can give him a topic.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Are you ready?
Sure, thank you very much, if time permits.
Nice. We've all agreed that we are all traveling through space and time. Can you give us some examples of when you got lost in the journey and how you got through it?
Vibrant table topic master and elegant speakers of this meeting. I traveled, got lost, and recovered myself. Dear Toastmasters, we are human beings traveling from one end to the other, which is called the journey, the life journey. I'm sure you have traveled like I have for the last 36 years. Maybe you would proudly say that, no, I've traveled less than you because I'm younger than you. And I'm sure there are people like me who have lost a lot of hair and say, yeah, I've traveled more than you have traveled. I've traveled 50 years, do you know? If Mr. Mike Carr, the world champion in public speaking, were listening to me now, he would say, Mr. Faslu, I've traveled 25 years with Toastmasters to win a world title. Ladies and gentlemen, life is a journey of failures, wins, stress, challenges, and of course, patience. If you ask me if I got lost anywhere in my life traveling, yeah, I've lost many, many times. But hope is like an asteroid. It keeps rotating and looks for the right opportunity to give you the light. Imagine your sun rotating the earth. Or you would say, imagine your earth rotating the sun. Whatever, it's all about getting something in and enjoying life to the best possible manner. Well, I'm sure you and I get lost at times, but remember, I'm one who have lost many times, but I've come back strong. I've failed many times in school, but my teachers pushed me so that I never said, I'm quitting, I can't go anymore. I have lost n number of table topic sessions, attending table topics. I've never quit. I keep telling myself, Faslu, it's not time to say you quit. Come on, keep going. And that's what pushes me to come and talk to you people this evening. Madam Table Topic Master, back to you.
Thank you, Fasolu, for volunteering. And I tell you, I've failed a lot of times in math. I'm very poor in math, and I never ever give up. I go through it, and I'm better now. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've just come to the end of our table topic session. I'll get the floor back to you, Madam Toastmasters and Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would ask our timer whether everyone qualified.
He says yes. All of them spoke within time.
Okay, that's perfect and that's amazing. So please, Mr. Vote Counter, please float the poll. And meanwhile, while everyone votes, it is my honor and singular pleasure to hand over the floor now to our Toastmaster of the day, the second Toastmaster or the co-Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Faith. Today, nothing can go wrong because we have faith. Over to you, Toastmaster Faith.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Talha. Now, our third session. Thank you also, Toastmaster Hawa Kipilili, for that great session there. We really enjoyed ourselves, though it's kind of scary. I would like to welcome the General Evaluator. I don't know if it's Herman or Sad, but I'd like to welcome either of you to welcome the our evaluators this evening. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I think it's me, if not I. As I said earlier, that in Toastmasters, we believe that feedback is the breakfast for champions, lunch, dinner, and some snacks for the midnight. Now is the time to hear from our speech evaluators. Our first speech evaluator was Toastmaster. Let me forget about saying a Toastmaster. Let me say a DTM because it carries some weight. A DTM, Toastmaster Otesh Tobias. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Otesh Tobias to give out the speech evaluation and feedback. The first speaker.
Wakati wa chakula. Huu ni wakati wa chakula. Javid, are you in the house?
I'm here.
That was an excellently delivered speech. You indeed entertained us. You took us through the journey. You crisscrossed countries, and you took us through 3 generations from your grandfather, your father, and finally, Javid. You engaged us with a mixture of English and the sweet Swahili language. That, by the way, is my mother tongue. You also shared with us your first experience in Africa, and you sprinkled that with, of course, the negative, I would say, behavior that Pakistan and Kenya share, which is corruption. But I like that you were quite open on that. I also like the language you used. For example, you said, my father left Africa, but Africa never left him. That was excellent. Your body language was expressive and well coordinated with the message that you're sharing. Your title was tied up with the body and the message that you were delivering. I really enjoyed. I would say this was an excellent speech. But while this was an excellent speech, there was still a possibility of taking this speech from a masterclass speech to a masterpiece. I did not really get to know about Javid. I also expected you to share a few lessons or maybe call us to action. For example, you could have said, I encourage you to trace your roots. All in all, Javed, you introduce yourself to the club. You have demonstrated the basic skills of an excellent speech. You engaged us, and now I know your connections with Africa. I look forward to listening to your next speech. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, DTM Otesh. And the next speech evaluator is Toastmaster Imran Rana. When Toastmaster Imran Rana was asked about her life journey, and especially in Toastmasters, this is what he responded. It was irregular, no challenges, no happening after joining Toastmasters now. After joining Toastmasters, now it has a 180-degree change. Now I have something to give him back to the community. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Imran Rana to give us the evaluation for the second speaker.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, for such an amazing introduction. I hope I'm audible. Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I would like to start with this statement. You are smart, eloquent, and masterclass speaker. You are smart, eloquent, and masterclass speaker. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, it gives me great honor to evaluate such an amazing, fascinating, and outclass speaker, DTM Altish Thobias. You started with an eye-catching opening and hooked the audience at once. I'm slim, sleek, and strong like Simba strolling in the Serengeti. And this statement was well supported by amazing body language and hand gestures. You told us about your achievement and desire to attain the ideal weight and the desired body mass index in a beautiful, articulated, and well structured speech. Let me tell you, I have the same weight, slim, and smart body as you have. Your speech told us about the struggle to attain the desired weight with powerful vocal variety and meaningful pauses. You attended Mind Power courses by Robin Banks and also attended the training session by Anthony Robbins, one of the best strategists. I like the humor about the reduction in food budget by 75%, and every morning the power of mind and repeating your affirmation and doing no action. Throughout your speech, you were extremely confident. Your vocal variety and eye contact were enhancing your speech. You ended up with a thought provoking message that affirmation without action is nothing. You need to take massive actions to achieve your targets. We are now having an online meetings and I would like to appreciate that your virtual background was simple, plain, and my concentration didn't diverge, so you got my whole attention. However, I observed that throughout the speech, you were in the middle of your virtual space. If the virtual space is utilized towards left, created an amazing impact. Overall, it was a well structured, well organized speech supported by perfectly aligned body language and vocal variety. Plus, your beautiful smile was icing on the cake. The only area where you could work upon is the effective use of virtual space. Keep delivering your speeches and keep entertaining us. Congratulations on successful completion of the project. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Imran. Given that I'm also evaluating a speech, this is my turn to give a feedback for Toastmaster Muhammad Farouk. And this is it. Have you ever read a book And every word you read has like a never-ending echo, and it makes life stops for a second, and you feel like not growing tired to go to the next page. This is what happened when I was listening to Toastmaster Muhammad Farouk's speech. There was an wonderful introduction, wonderful intro, which started like, the sun was sinking on the ground. The universe was covered by tranquility and peace. The shadow on the ground. All these useful and wonderful words appeared at a great introduction of Toastmaster Muhammad Farouk's speech. But also it was accompanied by intriguing and captivating title. That is, I saw a shepherd. The title itself is in a figurative language. It brings an appetite of listening of the next word. I saw a shepherd. For me, I thought Toastmaster Farouk is going to bring a shepherd with him in this meeting. I also like the fact that the content of the speech was great, wonderful, inspiring, captivating, and electrifying. How? It was actually when he mentioned the 4 principles of a shepherd leadership. That is vision, ability, relationship, and care. Because people will not understand that you are a leader until they see how you care. Congratulations for the speech well delivered, Toastmaster Muhammad Farouk. Not only that, but also the speech was engaging. You also included some personal stories as well as other people third-party stories. For example, the story of Selena, good master of the space. However, you could challenge yourself on using the stage directly or parallel to the message as you deliver your speech. But that is not the case. Your speech was well delivered, had so much quotes, and especially the quote from Nelson Mandela. Well delivered speech with body, with introduction, body, and a proper ending. That being said, I look forward to hear many more of your speeches, Toastmaster Muhammad Farouk. That is the end of my speech evaluation because I'm also the general evaluator. Now allow me to welcome Toastmaster Hibaraz Khan.
Am I visible and audible enough?
Yes.
Okay. Toastmaster Ebizner, your speech was very practical and one we all could relate to it because human trafficking is a very serious world issue since the past many years, and it also shows that how local law enforcement bodies of different governments, sorry, of different countries and governments have failed to address this problem, and so it remains still. Okay, I thought that during the time you spoke, you had a good clarity and you were quite audible to me as an evaluator. You had good eye contact during the time you spoke, and I found you constantly looking at the camera, I also thought that you had good body gestures and as well as hand gestures which you used to express yourself during the speech. And I also thought that you demonstrated good audience awareness needs, and the audience were completely engaged in what you were listening to. I also found you quite comfortable during the time you spoke, and I could detect no signs of hesitation or any nervousness. And I also thought that you had constructed this speech well with a good introduction, body, and conclusion, and as well as the way you had constructed it, you were able to engage the audience, and they were engage the audience with good sufficient material, and they were interested in, I constantly found it they sorry I constantly found they were interested in what you were hearing. However, like all speeches, there were some areas of improvement which I found. Firstly, I thought that you lacked vocal variety, and you could have incorporated it in it. You could have incorporated, and you could have a bit more facial expressions in your speech. And also, I thought facial expressions in your speech, and I also thought that you did not cover the speaking area. And in the end, your speech has made us more aware of this problem and how governments and law enforcement bodies should strictly handle it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Herman. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, what an amazing, amazing meeting we are having right now. Since everyone is mentioning some quotes about feedback is the breakfast for champion. Let me just throw my own quote about it. That behind every powerful performance, may it be speaker, may it be anything, there's a well judged, well organized feedback. So that's why feedback is totally brilliant for each and every one's progress. Moving on, let me first ask the timer have have all the speech speech evaluators qualified? Toastmaster Herman?
All of them were on time.
Perfect. So let's just vote vote for the best prepared speech evaluator, and then after that I can move on. You have you have round about 10 seconds to do this. Everyone please vote. There are many votes to go. Please hurry up. We need to move on. Okay, so in the meantime, let me just invite our table topic evaluator, the dynamic Master Urusa, and when Toastmaster Urusa was asked about her journey to space, her answer was typical Toastmaster Urusa answer. Rocky yet scenic, sometime a hearty learning, and sometime a shove down the throat. But then that's life. And so with that, Over to you, Toastmaster Urusa.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. So, our table topics for today. The first speaker who came on was Toastmaster Melanie, and she was asked anything you needed more, anytime you felt you needed more space. Toastmaster or guest Melanie, I must say you have a lovely, lovely smile. You had perfect gestures, and your screen was really well spaced. You were very well spaced in your screen. You had very well constructed content. The message that I took away from your speech, I should get a space of my own. The next speaker was Toastmaster Hiba. When was it that you did not know you would make it? I could not see your video because of connectivity issues from my end. You shared a personal story and that was related to your office environment, and you spoke with a lot of emotion in your voice. That was really nice. The message that I took from your speech, no matter how bad things go, keep going. So our next speaker was Toastmaster Tamonga. I hope I'm speaking it correctly. How you want your loved ones to remember you. You shared a very personal story, and you also shared the fact that you have thought about it. That was very interesting. You also shared your friend's story in a nutshell, and you told us that you would like to be remembered. That was really well done. You had very wonderful, sincere expression and gestures. One slight improvement is that there was a few gestures were being cut out. So maybe just sitting a little bit back from the screen would make those gestures more clear. Toastmaster Rosette was our next speaker. What would you like to share about your country with the next generation? Your response was really lovely. You said, "I'll wing it." Your video was not there, so I cannot say anything about your gestures or your facial expression. However, the message that I took away from your speech, even if we haven't lived the experience, maybe we can still say something about it. So our next speaker was a Toastmaster Faisalur Rahman. I hope I'm getting your name right. If you're lost in a journey, how do you recover? You had, I thought I was listening to a prepared speech. Seriously, you had very good opening, good body, good gestures. You stood up when you spoke, and you took on a philosophical tone towards to the whole topic. The message that I took from your speech, losing is life, but then getting back on your feet is the momentum. So there's nothing I would like to change in your speech because you were really perfect about it. So over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Urusa, for that excellent quick table topic evaluation. Thank you very much for that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the all ages, now it's time to move on to the role players for our wonderful combined meeting. And to start off, I will request the grammarian Toastmaster Naveed Aslam to please present his report.
Yeah, thank you very much, Saad. As far as the grammar is concerned, I've just noticed one sentence in Javed Bhatti's speech wherein he mentioned that his father is grown up now. So that's kind of a sentence which I thought is not fit in the speech. Apart from that, there is no grammar issue or sentence which I would like specifically to point out. So that's the only observation that I have in the whole meeting. Everyone has got very good grammar, at least far better than what I had. So I failed to point out any issues in the grammar. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Naveed, and I'll also bother you for the report as the word master as well.
Yeah. So for the word, I would like to thank Faslu to use that word steroid, and none of the other speaker has used that word, although we have this theme. But I think the word itself uh, was difficult unless you or challenging unless you have a specific uh, topic which is design or a speech a design which is focused on space and universe. So um, that's it from my side. And thank you, Faslu, for using it. So just for everyone, the word asteroid is used only once in the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Naveed, and and I would assure you that the word was excellent and and totally matching the theme. So moving on, I would like to request our counter Toastmaster Taha Hassan to please present his report. Over to you, Taha.
Thank you, General Evaluator Saad. As for the feedback is concerned, as you said while you were general evaluating, that feedback is the most essential for the speaker. I'll give you the feedback regarding the you make while speaking. Okay. So there were some things that you should not use while speaking, or you should avoid using it, and you should quiet down for a while. The the ums, the ers, and the repetition of words. So I've categorized in the forms of the speeches. Like we have the speaker's time, and then we have the evaluator's time, and then we have the table topic time. So in the speaking time, it was phenomenal. Like it was rarely any over there. It was really great. The prepared speeches were really great regarding to this perspective, but there was some problem in the table topic session. There was quite a lot, especially the repetition of words were really more than usual. And one of our Toastmaster, Miss Hiba, she really, because she was not prepared, I guess that's why she used really the the ums, and even all in the list she used it in her while she was saying something. And in the evaluators, there was always the evaluation was really good as well, and there was not that much of the of these these things used in the while they're speaking. So all in all, it was really a good speech, and I really like this and duo of Africa and Pakistan meeting. It was really good for us as well. And over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Taha, for that excellent and detailed report of the R counter. Now I would like to proceed to the report by the timer. Toastmaster Witness, please present your report.
Toastmaster Sad. Toastmaster Witness's device. No, it's okay. Toastmaster Witness's device has got some problems. But all people spoke within time. Okay. For instance, the first speaker was to speak for 4 to 6 minutes and spoke for 6 minutes. Otesh Tobias 7 minutes exactly. Muhammad Farouk 5 minutes. Ebenezer 7 and 30 seconds. 7 minutes and 30 seconds. For table topics, the first speaker, Melanie, spoke for 1 minute. Then Toastmaster Hiba spoke for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Third speaker, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Fourth speaker, 1 minute. Fifth speaker, 2 minutes. For evaluators, Toastmaster Otesh spoke for 1 minute and 4 seconds. Toastmaster Imran spoke for 3 minutes. Myself, I spoke for 3 minutes. Toastmaster Hiba spoke for 2 minutes and 57 seconds. And for table topics evaluation, President Usa spoke for 2 minutes and 37 seconds. That is the only report that I have.
Thank you very much, President Herman, for that excellent and quite elaborated report. And now now that we are done with the role players and also the evaluators, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Herman again for his general evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Herman.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sad. I think I am the most spoken person in this executive meeting today. But I would like to give a comprehensive report from the meeting today. And I will just give it from the view of commendations and recommendations. The meeting room was opened earlier enough for people to get in and practice, check videos and microphones. So that is commendable. Our SAA wasn't in the meeting, so next time I recommend that we need to have our SAA ready before the meeting gets started. But also I like how the Toastmaster of the day, 2 of them, started the meeting excellently by welcoming all members, especially at the beginning of the meeting. The meeting was well organized from the start to the ending. However, some other few recommendations is basically on time. The meeting had to start at 3 p.m. sharp, East Africa time, which is 5 p.m. Pakistan time. But the meeting started at 3:10 p.m. That is 10 minutes past the start time. So we need to be conscious on the use of time, because time management is also one of the best skills that we learn in Toastmasters. I also like the seamless transitioning of everyone in the year role, starting with our Toastmaster of the meeting. All of them did a wonderful job, and everybody, including speakers and other technical role takers, got engaged, and the meeting was seamlessly executed. Just in a brief, that is what I can say, and back to you, Toastmaster Sad.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Herman, for that excellent report. And I think I would just add uh, uh, just add a few points, because the president has has spoken. So the meeting began on time, roundabout, I think. And so after that, the the prepared speeches were excellent. They were diverse, they were educational, and they were totally in line with the theme. So excellent work to all of the four dignified and reputable speakers who actually in 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 who actually in who actually in who actually who actually totally stole the show. Then then came the table topics evaluation. Those again were totally unique and yeah, they were somewhat somewhat related to the theme. Maybe and maybe some more some more raise 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 some more raise some more raise raise resemblance would have been good, but overall it was excellent. The the word of the day, that was good, and and maybe the excellent speakers could have used it more. The the role of the word counter was 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 not assigned. So so maybe maybe moving on, we can also we can assign a word counter, or at least a technical host host to do the polling. The evaluators use use the use the approach which was excellent, positive, negative, positive things to improve on, and then and then ending it on a positive note. Totally brilliant. Next next maybe more more maybe more more guests could have been called upon for the table topic, because we 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 had many guests in the meeting. Lastly, the the role 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 the role players perform their role totally totally and totally excellently. The reports were concise and totally to the point, and 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 a special mention to to both of the of the VP education because they actually they 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 actually handle the last minute changes to the agenda. So so all in all, excellent meeting, good team, and I'm actually looking actually looking for actually looking forward to more alliance between Africa and and Africa and Pakistan because after all Wakanda forever. Over to you, over to you, over to you the over to you the core master of the day DTM Tala and Toastmaster Faith.
Thank you so much, both journal evaluators. And we knew that this was an amazing and a historic meeting. And it perhaps couldn't get any better, but it just did because none other than DTM Rosie Rana has joined our meeting. I extended her an invite, and as we all know, she is too busy. It's a weekend, and somehow, thanks to COVID and the online meeting, uh, you will second me that most of the Toastmasters activity around the world these days is now happening around weekends. So that's a blessing and a curse. And I thoroughly appreciate her for joining with us because we are honored by your presence. DTM Rosie Rana has been an inspiration for District 122 TC, which is our fledgling territorial council. And we hope to follow in her home district's footsteps to become a full-fledged district. Um, so, in keeping with the theme of the meeting, myself and DTM Faith decided to do something. And we think we are reasonably prepared for it. And it is something that you will hear very shortly. But just give us a minute or two before the sounds in the background stop. And in the meantime, I will just ask DTM Rosie Rana just to share her thoughts. I know you've just joined right now, but what do you think about the initiative and what has been your experience about leadership? Would love to have some thoughts from you.
Good afternoon, DTM Talha, and thank you very much for that. Good afternoon, Mount Meru and Pakistan Toastmasters. It is such a pleasure to see you take this initiative together. And like DTM Tala said, it's fantastic that we've had these opportunities because of COVID. I think, we've often said that sometimes a crisis brings an opportunity, but it's really up to us to grab that opportunity. And it's delightful that you have grabbed this opportunity and we are meeting together. It gives me greatest pleasure that this is East Africa and Pakistan particularly, because we were a territorial council not too long ago, and I have seen this particular territorial council grow, and I'm very sure it's going to expand into a provisional district and further into a district. I've also been involved in helping in setting up the initial paperwork, so I can't wait for the time you tell me, here's my paperwork, here's the application for a provisional district, and I'm looking forward to that. I missed this meeting, so I can't comment on the meeting, but I heard the general evaluator and I heard the end of it. And from his comments, I could tell that you have had a very, very good session. I also believe it's been a little more than 2 hours, so I can only imagine that you have had a lot of progress. You've had a lot of lessons learned. And I'm not surprised when I see the group here, when I see my good friend Oltesh. And Oltesh, I'm so happy that you moved to South Africa, but you remained with us totally. You've not left East Africa. And having been introduced to Pakistan, you have stayed on with them. And I'm pretty sure you are behind this initiative. So well done. I think together we learn so much more from each other. And they say that it takes it takes teams, and when you are a team, you grow far more than you can grow individually. So seeing the team here, I can only imagine that you have learned from each other lessons and you will keep growing. I hope you will continue with such initiatives even as we continue, because so what if we join in and start having physical meetings? I think this trend that has started is something we can continue. I personally believe even if hybrid meetings do begin, there are opportunities to continue like this, to have trainings together, because joining forces, we can learn so much more from each other. This is an opportunity for learning diversity, for picking up inclusion, for having connections across the globe. So this is the two together. Let's go even beyond. I know that tomorrow there is a meeting which is going on for 24 hours with clubs around the world. One club in East Africa called Nakuru Toastmasters is part of that. But there's a meeting from Japan, a meeting from Dubai, a meeting from Kuwait, a meeting from, I think it's Korea, but there are meetings for 24 hours and there are like 12 or 14 clubs. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to join that one because of the status that I am in. But that is something that's excessive, but it would be good to hear about it. But these are opportunities I just share, because if you can do two, you can slowly expand and bring people from all over, from different regions as well. But congratulations for starting this initiative. I wish I could have seen more of it, and I look forward to hearing the recording. Thank you for the opportunity. Back to you, DTM.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DTM Rosie. If you recall, you were the one who set things in motion that led to this meeting. If anyone else doesn't know, DTM Rosie Rana actually introduced me to DTM Oltesh because I wanted someone who had done well in a video speech contest outside Pakistan to actually be part of a training that we were conducting. And that's how we got in touch. And it has been an amazing, amazing relationship ever since then. And it speaks to how good a human being DTM Oltesh is, because you don't get to see too many people like him. You don't get to see too many people who value a relationship like he does. So thank you so much once again. And Toastmaster Faith, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Look up, I look up at night. Planets are moving at the speed of light.
Climb up in the trees. Every chance that you get is the chance you seize.
How long am I gonna stand with my head stuck under the sand?
I'll start before I can stop, before I see things the right way up. All that noise and all that
sound,
sound,
all those places I have
all those
found,
places I have found.
and birds go flying at the speed of sound to show you how it all began. Birds came flying from
Birds
the
can fly
underground.
from the
If you could
underground.
see, then you'd
If you
understand.
could see, then you understand.
If you could see it, you would understand. Okay, so first of all, a huge round of applause for DTM Faith. She learned this song only yesterday, only today, in fact. And we had planned it out. We planned it out. It's a song by Coldplay called Speed of Sound, and it matched perfectly with the theme of this meeting, although it contains a gross misstatement that planets are moving at the speed of light. Excuse me, they don't move at the speed of light. Nothing moves at the speed of light except light. But nevertheless, thank you, Toastmaster Faith, for learning this song. And it did fell a victim to the digital delay that we have. But thank you so much. And with that, I would like Toastmaster Faith to share her thoughts and then hand over the charge to the respective presidents. Over to you, Toastmaster Faith.
Yes, that's been an exciting meeting. We have been all over in the space and traveled through time. So I would like to really thank everyone who has contributed in this meeting. I would like to thank all of the 23, we had 25, I think, at first, participants who have just joined us from all over the place. We are really grateful for this meeting. And thank you, much thanks to our presidents and all our members from our clubs, Karachi and Mount Meru, for making this meeting exciteful. So I'll hand over back to Mr. President. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Faith Juma. I really like the moment that you were singing. I couldn't grow tired listening. Thank you very much, DTM Talha. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Faith Juma. Welcome and thank you very much as well, DTM Rosirana. You joined us late, but your word of wisdom will stick in our mind. Thank you very much. On behalf of my fellow president, President Ulsa, because she has left for another meeting right now, I would like to take this golden opportunity to thank all of you for coming and for making this meeting a success. But before I give a word of closure, allow me to lead the award session. And this goes with starting with the best prepared speaker. Can you please unmute yourself, both audio and video, and give it a round of applause? Please help me to drum roll. Drum rolls, please. Thank you very much. The best speaker is DTM Oltesh. Congratulations, DTM Oltesh. It's a pleasure having you. You are really a treasure at Mount Meru Toastmasters Club. The best table topic speaker. Drum rolls. The best table topic speaker is Toastmaster Fasalu Rahman. Congratulations, Toastmaster Sadu. The best speech evaluator. How do you feel being the best speech evaluator in this executive meeting? The Intercontinental Toastmasters meeting. This is none other than DTM Oltesh Tobias. Thank you very much. Just in a word, because we have gone beyond time. The best moments are spent with people who bring out the best in you. As you people share, happiness together as friends, colleagues, scholars, or partners. Today was a great moment, well spent, with funny, electrifying sessions, mind-blowing sessions, and the great moment that all of us have gathered here virtually. I read one of the chats in the group from DTM Talha that we shouldn't leave or think of leaving the group because something big is coming. So this is the start of the beginning. Thank you very much. Thank you, our Toastmasters of the meeting, DTM Talha, Toastmaster Faith, all the 4 speakers, speech evaluators, technical role takers, visiting Toastmasters, friends, and guests. I would like to declare this joint meeting, let me say a joint executive meeting, closed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Everyone, if you can quickly turn on your cameras for a snapshot, that will be great.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, and we have just 3 or 4 people remaining. Everyone, if you can please turn on your cameras. Otherwise, Toastmaster Faith, we cannot have a group picture without you appearing on it. Yeah. Okay. I'm taking a picture in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Thank you.
I think while we are leaving, the room is still open for people to network. It is virtual, but it counts because the COVID will not last longer. Toastmaster Sad.
Yep.
Congratulations, the job well done.
Well, excellent work to each and every one. It was an excellent meeting and excellent work to everyone, really.
Thank you very much. Taha Hassan.
Yes.
Can you please give us a word of wisdom?
Regarding speeches or regarding the meeting? Or
You got from the meeting.
Okay. The meeting, it was really fun. It was really exciting and full of new information that we both countries shared with each other. And these things should happen more. And nothing more. Sitting with you, great guys, it's really an honor for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Taha Hassan. We have somebody, Muhammad Azhar Khan.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, President.
Good evening. Hi.
Good evening, President. How are you?
I'm good. Can we please hear from you? Any word of wisdom?
Sorry, I didn't get it. What did you say?
I'm saying, can we please hear from you anything?
What should I say anything?
Yes, anything, even outside of what went on during the meeting.
Sorry for I joined very late. At the time Rosie Rana was speaking, I joined recently. because yeah, I went out from home because of some personal work. So that's why I joined very last moment. But I this is my experience of uh, our Toastmaster meeting will always be a good, and I learned many more. And now I can speak with anyone little bit, but I'm trying to speak more and more because I'm very introvert in the house of, in especially in the English language, because this is my second language. This is not my native language. But when recently I joined the Toastmaster, and I have the many meetings, but my experience is very well, and every person, very supported person, everyone pushed me and give me the sorry, my English is not good. Sorry, you are getting my point. What I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
So everyone give me the trick and tips, and uh, everyone present their speeches. So I learned many more on a weekly basis. So today I joined only 15 to 20 minutes, but I'm listening to everyone, especially Rosie and Nana, you and Taha, Talha, 4 to 5 guys I heard, and but now everything is good. Why should I say many more? You can ask me.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Muhammad. It was a pleasure having you because he said better late than never. So you made it late.
Just
And
5 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. But we thank you very much for coming.
Welcome, President.
Thank you. Toastmaster David.
I'm here, but I cannot turn the camera on. Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay. Go on.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Herman. It was a pleasure. And Taco. So, so this meeting, when I heard that we are going to have a joint meeting with Tanzanian-based Toastmasters Club, I was the first one to sign up for the speech slot. And normally I'm very lazy. I've been delaying this icebreaker of my second pathway for like 3 months. And you can say I have not delivered many speeches since the COVID started. So I was still learning to adopt to this online stage thing, an online arena. But I still miss the real stage of Toastmaster, where you learn real things, real skills. But after all, we have to adapt. The cheese has moved to the digital arena now, so we have to adapt. That's about it from my side. And by the way, I plan to come to Tanzania, and I will surely visit your club if the in-person meetings have started by then, and maybe you can take me to Arusha jungles and all. All right. Thank you. That's about it from my side.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Javed. It was great hearing your speech, where you just could switched and could mixed. You spoke Swahili very well. And Mount Meru Toastmasters Club is here to roll out the red carpet for you when you plan coming to Tanzania. Welcome very much. DTM Rose, you know, when you're a DTM, you always have so much to share with your grandsons and granddaughters. Please share with us.
Well, Herman, first of all, I'm so proud to see what is happening, and I'm so proud for this joint collaboration. Sometimes you wonder the possibilities that exist, and you only get to seeing them when you try them, and you have risen to the challenge. You have gone ahead, collaborated, and from this, I would like to suggest, you try even more, try and get others to join forces. And when you're doing this, I was delighted to hear, even though I wasn't present, that the previous speaker, Mohammed, spoke some words in Kiswahili. So that shows you have shared a lot more than just your regular day-to-day things. I would like to challenge you to get to every single place that you possibly can and learn something small about each other's culture, because that will make you really truly, we are a global organization, and this is that opportunity to really pick up some nuggets from every single culture. So I think my question to you is, if he managed to think through and use Kiswahili in his speech, what have the Tanzanians in this room picked up that is unique to the Pakistan culture and been able to apply just from this meeting, maybe? I would love to hear those answers.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Ebenezer.
I think he's left.
Yeah, he has left.
Yeah. Mhm.
Toastmaster Faith.
Yes, Mr. President.
Have you heard what DTM Rosie has mentioned?
I couldn't get it, my internet. Sorry.
No, no problem. What I
So what
say,
did she say?
yeah, so what I was saying is, as you join forces and collaborate, we have so much to learn from each other. And it's one thing as we learn things to do with Toastmasters, speeches, evaluations, learn to speak impromptu. But these are wonderful opportunities to go beyond, go an extra step and learn from the different cultures. And I learned that Muhammad, Toastmaster Muhammad, used some words of Kiswahili in his speech. And I find that very exciting. I wish I was present. So my question is, have we picked up, have you from Tanzania picked up anything that is unique to Pakistan from, or Karachi, if not Pakistan, the entirety of Pakistan, but Karachi? What did you pick up something that's unique? And if not, you still have some opportunities with a few friends left in the room to ask them to tell you something that's unique about Karachi. Back to you.
Yeah, as for me, the Ambrosi Rana, that is a nice observation. So I didn't get to know anything. I get to learn something unique from them, maybe from this Toastmaster platform. I think I've never seen evaluations for the table topics. This is my first time. This was the first experience. So I saw that most of the times in our club, the table topic speakers just give out their views, but they're not evaluated, like given back feedback, what they did wrong or what they have to improve. So I think this was the unique thing, but I'll still love to learn some unique cultural stuffs from Pakistan too. Back to you, Mr. President.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice President Education. Javed, do you have something to tell us? Maybe you want to bring some unique culture from Pakistan. You want to share with us virtually?
Yeah, why not? So,
go ahead.
Have you tried? I have tried your food. I have tried Tanzanian food, the one that you guys make with the corn, which is a staple food there, and bananas. But have you guys tried Pakistani food ever? I challenge you to do that once in your life. So if you have any Pakistani friends around, just ask them to cook a biryani for you, and maybe then you can share your feedback in the group that we have.
Take
Thank
the
you very much.
challenge.
I will actually be the first person because I like to try new things.
That's great.
Thank you very much. Item Otis. Otis Tobias.
Yes, come on.
Item Otis.
I'm right here, Mr. President.
Okay. Now let us hear from you.
Not really much, but I have so much that will probably form another speech. I'm actually trying to prepare lunch because this meeting came in between lunch and. But let me say this: I really enjoyed the meeting. This was a great initiative, and let me just congratulate. Much as I was probably the one who blazed this relationship, but I do know that DTM Talha and Faith worked really, really hard to make this event happen. So bravo, Talha and Faith. And number two, I actually happen to have a lot of friends from Pakistan. I remember when I was doing my master's in the UK, I had a friend, his name is Jahangir. And after I did not have a scholarship, so I had to work to earn money to pay for my school fees. And after struggling for 3 months looking for a job, Jahangir asked me, but Oltesh, what kind of a job are you looking for? And I told him that I went to work in an office or maybe, do some corporate work. And he said, as a student, that is not going to work. The best jobs for you is to work as a cleaner, as a security guard, waiting tables, and maybe stock shelves in a supermarket. And I took Jahangir's advice seriously, and I was actually hired the following week. So I have very fond memories of friends from Pakistan, but I also have fond memories of the advice I got from Jahangir that allowed me not only to get a job, because the moment I was invited for an interview from advice given by Jahangir, after the interview, that is when I met the love of my life, my wife, when I was connecting trains in one of the train stations in London. So you can just see how that connection, I actually met the love of my life because of the advice that I got from Jahangir to apply for a security job that connected me. So that is my connection between Africa and Pakistan.
That was wonderful. It is indeed another speech.
Yeah, so I'm really happy to meet you guys. And Javed, that was a great speech. When I hear someone talking about Lamu, Malindi, Mombasa, Da, and Chakula, it just feels good when you hear this from another continent. That was awesome.
Well, actually, my grandfather is buried in Mombasa, so
Oh, right.
Africa is my second
Okay,
home.
that's yeah. Oh, awesome. All right.
Great.
Okay,
No,
Mr. President, I need to dash. I need to go look for lunch, before I drop. But this was a great meeting, great initiative, and I think we need to do a repeat of today's session for sure. We have
exactly. We need to do it.
Yeah.
We need to have
Thank you
another
so
meeting.
much. Thank you so much, TM Herman and DTM Altesh. I would be in touch with you for some guidance. And thank you so much. I really had a good time. And thank you. Asante.
No problem. No problem.
Karibu. Karibu sana.
Okay, karibu sana. Asante. Asante.
All right. We say in Urdu, we say thank you like shukriya.
Shukriya.
All right.
Same as shukran.
Shukran or shukriya. Yes. Shukran is in Arabic, in Urdu, shukriya.
Okay. Not
All
far
right, take
from
care.
shukran. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye bye.